Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to everyone. Today I would like to make a video, means asynchronous online. Uh, so later maybe you can watch this video. So this topic is about the nutrition. So of course all of you know what is nutrition. So you learn already from the subject of animal nutrition, but for large ruminant production just you can means remember or you can memory from the animal nutrition subject. So from this topic we want to learn about the understand the pathway of feed ingested in large ruminant. And number two, describe the basic function of nutrient in large ruminant. And number three, describe the general pathway of lipid, protein, and energy partitioning in large ruminants. So this is the anatomy of the ruminant digestive system. As all of you know, ruminant have four stomach, four compartment. We call rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. So after abomasum, they have small intestine and then large intestine. So this is the cecum. So feed intake by cow, they use usually the mouth, we call oral cavity, and also tongue to harvest forages during grazing or to consume harvested feedstuff including forages. So inside the mouth they have teeth. So this is the dental anatomy. So you can see here first is called incisor teeth, second is premolar teeth, and third is the molar teeth. So cow don't have canine teeth. So as you can see in the cow only bottom jaw have have the teeth. Upper jaw don't have teeth, they have dental pad. So from here you can see this one incisor teeth. Incisor teeth, this one is the upper jaw, this one is the lower jaw. So we call this one upper incisor, lower incisor. So upper incisor no teeth, lower incisor have teeth. And then premolar, this one is upper premolar, this one is the lower premolar. And last one is the upper molar, this one is the lower molar. So that's why in permanent teeth, this is the formula of cow. So I means incisor teeth. So 0/4. 0 is incisor teeth in upper jaw, no teeth. Lower jaw have 4 incisor. C means canine teeth. So cow don't have upper jaw, no canine teeth. Lower jaw also no canine teeth. So and premolar upper jaw have 3 premolar teeth and lower jaw have 3 premolar teeth. And molar this one is the upper jaw have molar teeth 3 and lower jaw have 3. So total is 32. So this one you need to divide, you need to multiply by 2 because this one is one side and this one is another side. So multiply by 2. That's why 3 plus 3, 6, 9 and this one 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So 16 times 2. So equal 32. So means one part have left part have 16, right part have 16. So total 32. So this one is the lateral view. And this one is the salivary gland. As you know, inside the mouth they have salivary gland. So major glands secrete saliva. So saliva is one kind of enzyme. So this one secreted from parotid gland, submandibular and sublingual gland. So saliva is like nature is buffer, immunoglobulin and lysozyme enzyme, and also have enzyme like lipase, salivary amylase, and also have mucin. So this one is the esophagus. So esophagus is tubular organ connect from mouth to the stomach. So it will connect from the mouth to the stomach. The smooth muscle undergo a series of wave-like movement we call peristalsis. So peristalsis means the movement of the what is called the foot or stomach. So we call peristalsis movement. And epiglottis, here have epiglottis as you can see here. So seal of the windpipe during eating so that food is not accidentally inhaled. This one is the ruminant forestomach. As you can see here is the esophagus, and this one is the rumen. So this ruminant forestomach is warm temperature like 37.5 to 42 degrees Celsius, and also inside have water, large quantity water, and also anaerobic condition, free of oxygen. So there is no oxygen inside the rumen. So pH is more than 6.2 to neutral, like more than 6.2 until 7, and active 1 to 3 contraction per minute. So per minute inside the rumen have contraction. So 1 to 3 times contraction per minute. So inside the rumen have microorganisms like bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. So this one is the large fermentation vat. We call large fermentation chamber. So the pillars and their contraction contribute to an efficient mixing of the rumen content, ensuring adequate fermentation. The inner surface of the rumen is covered by papillae. So this one, as you can see, this is the rumination, this is the particle raft and gas space. So here usually gas space, gas here, gas stay here. And here as you can see, very dense particle, usually the lower part, and medium dense small particle usually here. And upper is the light large particle. So the rumen motility function serve to mix the ingesta. So rumen usually the contraction inside. So that contraction usually why happen, because that one they mix the digested materials, and also help erection of gas and propel fluid and fermented foodstuff into omosum. So the digested or fermented foodstuff they go to the from the rumen and reticulum go to the omosum. So as I said, cycle of contraction per minute 1 to 3 times. So highest frequency is during feeding and the lowest when the animal is resting. About the contraction, during feeding is the highest frequency, and the lowest is when animal take the rest. So two of contraction, primary contraction originate in the reticulum and pass caudally around the rumen, and secondary contraction occurs only parts of rumen and are usually associated with eructation. So cows spend 35 to 40% of each day ruminating, card chewing. Amount of time depending on type of diet, small or fine feed particle, less fibrous, less rumination. So if you give the concentrate feed, meaning less fiber or small size of feed particle, so rumination happen less. But if you give the long feed, large type of feed, fibrous feed, rumput, so it increase the rumination. So this is the makes the feed easier for microbes to digest. Chew while eating, regurgitate, bring up food, chat, rechew, resaliva, and reswallow. So we call rumination. So rumination makes the feed easier for microbes to digest. How? So this is the process. Let's say the green one is the rumen microbes like bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and this one are the feed particles. So ruminant microbes, they attack the feed particles, so break down into small pieces. As you can see here, they break down into small pieces. So this green one is the bacteria, protozoa, or fungi. So how rumination help uh, the feed easier for microbes to digest? It increase the total surface area. As you can see, the increase the total surface area, so that feed stuff can break down easily into small pieces. So importance of rumination: provide liquid for the microbes, 100 to 150 liters of saliva per day. So recirculate nitrogen and minerals, buffer the rumen. Saliva keeps the rumen pH 6.2 to 6.8 for best digestion of forages and feedstuff. Rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and sodium, which are utilized by microbes. So ruminants is a unique animals, have the ability to convert the feed and forage into energy and microbial protein. So ruminant animal is one kind of special type of creation. So that this animal can convert our fibrous plant materials or rumput, make it into energy and microbial protein. So we need to feed the host and microbes. That's why we need to give the food to our animal, and that animal, if we give the food, microbes also get the feed. So rumen inhabited with the microbial community. So this one, as I said in our last lecture, so rumen have billions of rumen microorganisms like bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. So we call methogenesis, anaerobic respiration that generate methane as the final product of metabolism. Digestion produces 40 to 50 quarts of gas per hour in rumen. Gases released through belching, this to avoid bloating. 15 to 25% global emission of methane. So by rearing our ruminant animal, usually 15 to 25% global warming or global methane emission can happen. So produced by rumen methogens. Ruminal methogens causes 2 to 12% of the gross energy intake of the host. So this one is the process of methane production. So our cow or sheep or goat, they produce the methane. So how to produce the methane? This is the process. As you can see, plant material, animal take it, and then bacterial digestion or fermentation can happen inside the rumen, and then they produce the hydrogen and carbon dioxide gas and methogens and produce the methane. So that methane can go out. So usually the 5% can come out from here. So now we want to talk about the nutrition in what is called about the nutrient content of the feedstuff. What are the importance of nutrients for animal production? So all of us, we know that there are 6 classes of nutrients. So first is the water, and then carbohydrate and protein, fat, minerals, and vitamins. So these are the 6 classes of nutrients. So nutrient requirement of ruminants, uh, as you can see here: energy, protein, mineral, vitamin, water. So energy is the carbohydrate mainly. So we need only small amounts of micronutrients like vitamin, mineral. So this mineral and vitamin we need very small amount. But macronutrient like water, carbohydrate, protein, lipid, we need larger amount of the macronutrients. So I think all of us we understand. So animal need energy, protein and water a lot. But animal also need mineral and vitamin but small amount. So basic function of nutrient. So this is the function of the water. So what is the function of water? As all of us we know that water serves as a solvent. So most of protoplasm is a mixture of colloids and crystalloids in water. Transport medium of transportation of semi-solid in the gastrointestinal tract. Also, water can serve as a diluent. Dilution of cell contents and body fluids provides free movement of chemical within cells and in the fluid and gastrointestinal tract. And then hydrolysis and oxidation. And because of the water, chemical reaction happen inside the body. Now, this one is the carbohydrate. So we can get most of the energy from the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is the source of energy for normal life process. So plant fractionation, according to benzoate fiber analysis, carbohydrate like usually we have neutral detergent fiber, acid detergent fiber, acid detergent lignin. But another proximate analysis or windy analysis, we only can get the crude fiber. So this one is the crude fiber we consider as a carbohydrate. So this one is the classification, cell wall and cell contents. So and then third one is the protein. So what is the function of protein? So this is the function like muscle contraction, enzyme catalyzed reaction, gene expression, hormone mediated effect, protection, storage of nutrient and oxygen, cell structure, transport of nutrient and oxygen. So these are the all are the roles, all are the function of protein, and this is the example of protein inside the animal body. So and then energy supply. This one is the lipid. The so lipid also we call the fat. So we can get a lot of energy from the lipid or fat. So this is a thermal insulation fat under the skin. Essential fatty acid is linoleic acid and linolenic acid. So these two are essential fatty acid. So linoleic acid and linolenic acid. There are other type of fatty acid also, but they are non-essential fatty acid because our ruminant they can produce by themselves. They can synthesize other fatty acid from their body by their mechanism, body mechanism. But sometimes linoleic acid and linolenic acid we need to provide them through the feed because this one is the essential fatty acid. So carrier of fat soluble vitamin. As you know, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, they are stay inside the fat. So without fat, they cannot stay. So that's why we call fat soluble vitamin. So animal fat with free fatty diet may develop fast soluble vitamin deficiencies. So if you don't give fat to the animal, free fat diet if you give, so animal will show the deficiency of the vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. So fat soluble vitamin deficiency can happen. So contribution of microbes in production. So ruminants is a unique animal, have the ability to convert feed and forage into energy and microbial proteins. We need to feed the host and microbes. So ruminant inhabited with microbial community. So the bacteria, protozoa and fungi. So energy feed digestion. how to digest the energy, how to digest the carbohydrate. So rumen microbes, fibrolytic, fibrobacter, succinogens, ruminococcus flavifaciens, and ruminococcus albus. So these all are microorganisms. This one amylolytic bacteria, streptococcus bovis. So as you can see from here, through the esophagus, usually grain, concentrate or rumput, they go inside. So inside the rumen, with the help of microorganism, the carbohydrate break down into cellulose, complex sugar, glucose, volatile fatty acid, starch, fat, microbial starch, acetic acid, propionic acid, butyric acid, starch, glucose, fat, fatty acid, and then this the blood vessel, as you can see here inside the liver. So all nutrients goes to the liver: glucose, propionic acid, acetic acid, and butyric acid. And here body tissue excess energy can store as a body fat, and some nutrient come to the ketone bodies, and ketone bodies, so urinary bladder, and sometimes excess energy goes to the urine through urine and excrete from the body. And also from here, as you can see, they have some volatile fatty acid, or most of the nutrients also absorbed through the abomasum. And you can see the small intestine here. So in the small intestine, they absorb inside the body through the blood, like fatty acid, acetic acid, butyric acid, glucose, lactose, and come to the milk, a milk fat. And this is the mammary gland. And some are undigested food, undigested carbohydrate, they come through the feces, come outside through the feces. So this is the energy feed digestion process. So this is the energy partitioning, as you can see here. Like when animal take the feed, so that one we call gross energy. So when animal take inside the body, and then 30% energy loss through the feces, means undigested food, and 70% digested. So this 70% can go to the further, and some out of 70%, some are losses through the urine, so about 5%, and some are losses through the gas production, 5%. So 70 minus 10, we can get the 60%. So that 60% we call metabolizable energy. And this metabolizable energy also sometimes losses as heat increment because of the fermentation inside the body. They need to do the chemical reaction, nutrient metabolism. So about 20% energy loss. So 60 minus 20, we can get the 40%. So that 40% we call net energy. So this net energy used for maintenance of the body, and also production for meat purpose, for milk production. So only about 40% energy at the end animal can use. Other 60% loss along the way. So this one is also the same, gross energy, so loss fecal energy, and we can get digestible energy. So loss urine and gas energy, we can get the metabolizable energy, and from metabolizable energy loss the heat energy, so that one we call net energy. So net energy usually available for maintenance of the body, and also milk and meat production. So this one is the energy flow through a ruminant. As you can see here, gross energy, digestible energy, metabolizable energy, and the net energy. So net energy usually is for maintenance, growth, and lactation. So energy feed digestion. So nutrient degradation. Bacteria cannot directly ingest starch, granules, or high molecular weight starch. Enzyme cleave a 1,4 or alpha 1,4 or alpha 1,6 bands of amylose and amylopectin. So this one is the like the carbohydrate like glucose, amylose, amylopectin, and cellulose hydrolyzed by synergistic action of three major types of cellulases. So cellulases is enzyme. So because of the enzyme, you can see this break down into small pieces, and then again break down into small pieces, and then again break down into glucose. So that glucose can absorb by the small intestine or can used by microorganism. So this one is the, as you can see, feed component like carbohydrate, starch, neutral detergent fiber, cellulose, hemicellulose, crude fat, sugar. So substrates and products of ruminal fermentation. So this one you see, this one is the large particle size, and this one is the small particle size, and this one is the product of fermentation, the end product. So as you can see, end product mostly volatile fatty acid. So what is volatile fatty acid? As I said before, propionic acid, butyric acid, and acetic acid. These three we call volatile fatty acid. So volatile fatty acid, especially propionic acid, if you give to the animal high concentrate feed, then we can get more propionic acid. But if you give high fiber like rumput, if you give less concentration and means less concentrate and high fiber or rumput grass type of feed you give, then acetic acid is more and less propionic acid. So this one is as you can see volatile fatty acid and liver. So acetic acid, this one, acetic acid, propionic acid, butyric acid. So this is the process. They can go inside the liver. So entrance of propionic acid converted into succinyl CoA. Meaning this one happening inside the liver chemical reaction, and animal can get the energy. So they produce the ATP, and by use the ATP animal can get the energy. So volatile fatty acid and production. So marbling composition in response to volatile fatty acid. So intramuscular fat. So inside the fat you can see, inside the meat you can see have fat. So if have more fat we call more marbling. So this one we consider as a marbling. So more fat is more delicious, more sedap. So that's why intramuscular fat is very important. So subcutaneous fat, fat under the skin. Under the skin, that fat we call subcutaneous fat. But when fat inside the meat, that one called intramuscular fat. The only volatile fatty acid converted to glucose in liver, that one is propionic acid. So greater glucose production from the liver lead to greater average daily gain and marbling deposition. So yeah, if animal produce a lot of glucose production from the liver, so that can help to increase the body weight gain, we call average daily gain, and also marbling deposition means we can get the marbling. So if have more fat inside the meat, we call marbling, and we can sell that meat is expensive means we can with high price we can sell. So this one is the volatile fatty acid and production. So as you can see here, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So what is the x-axis? This is the forest. Forest is 80%, then decrease into 60%, then further decrease into 40%, and further decrease into 20%. And concentrate is vice versa, like here 20, 80, 20, 100, 60, 40, 100, 40, 60, 100, 20, 80, 100. So if you increase the forest in the diet and decrease the, if you decrease the forest and if you increase the concentrate, as you can see here, so acetic acid decrease, propionic acid increase, and butyric acid no effect. but as you can see here, fat percent in the milk decrease. So as you can see, 40% forage, 60% concentrate, then fat percent in the milk drop. But until 40-60 forage and concentrate ratio, fat percent is the same. And this one is the milk production. So if you decrease the forage, increase the concentrate, so milk production increase here until here. But if you further increase the concentrate, no increase the milk production drop. So you can get maximum milk production here is about 30% forage, 70% concentrate. So this one changes in milk yield and fat in response to roughage and concentrate. So RE means roughage, C means concentrate. So this one about the protein degradation. So nutrient degradation, as you can see here, this one is the esophagus. So when animal intake the dietary protein and non-protein nitrogen, so it goes to inside the rumen, and because of the microorganism, they use their crude protein, dietary protein, and non-protein nitrogen, and so they can they can increase the number of bacteria, increase the number of microorganism. So as a result, we can get the bacterial protein or microbial protein. So when microbial protein die, so we can get the amino acid from their body. So as you can see here, they produce the urea, amino acid. So liver, kidney, bladder. So if you give excess protein, excess non-protein nitrogen, so usually excess nitrogen come out through the urine. And also if any undigested protein also come to through the feces outside. And also some urea or protein or amino acid, they deposited store here in the mammary gland. So we call amino acid meal protein. So this is the mammary gland. So this is the nutrient degradation, means about the protein degradation. This one, as you can see here, everything about the ammonia, non-protein nitrogen, urea, amino acid, microbial protein. So if any excess goes through the urine to outside, and also through the feces, so it can come out undigested protein through the urine, through the feces. And also some protein amino acid deposited here in the mammary gland. So this one, protein degradation, nutrient degradation, as you can see here, conversion of ammonia to urea. So this one is the chemical process we call ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So from the ATP we can get the energy. So this one is the fat digestion. So no emulsifying agent or pancreatic lipase enzyme. So rumen microbes produce microbial lipase. So here have lipase enzyme. Because of the lipase enzyme, they can break down the fat. So microbial lipase hydrolyze ester linkage in triglyceride, phospholipid, and glycolipid. Release glycerol plus free fatty acid. Glycerol readily metabolized by rumen bacteria to form propionic acid. Supplemental fat increases the proportion of propionic acid and the propionate to acetate in the ruminant. So this one about the fat. So as you can see here, when fat come to the rumen, so you can see hydrolysis. This is the glycerol volatile fatty acid. So hydrogenation. So at the end they produce the fatty acid or triglyceride. So biohydrogenation, lipid transformation. Why biohydrogenation? Too much unsaturated fatty acid can cause toxic to rumen microbes. So biohydrogenation, unsaturated to saturated fatty acid, altered by microbe to more stable fatty acid. Example, only a fraction of linoleic acid consumed is actually available for absorption. Mean duodenal flow 56 gram per day. So very little stearic acid is consumed. Reciprocal increase in stearic acid flow to the duodenum. So this is the relationship for linoleic acid and stearic acid intake and duodenal flow. So this one, now we are talking about the small intestine. So small intestine nutrient digestion and absorption. So lipid digestion in small intestine. So ruminant is versus monogastric. So two secretion enabling this process, bile and pancreatic juices enable the lipid to form a micelles for absorption. This compound dissolve fatty acid from feed particle and bacteria. Micelle formed and transfer across the small intestine epithelial cell of the jejunum. So within the epithelial cell, the fatty acid re-esterified into triglyceride and packaged into chylomicrons for transport in lymph to the blood. So this one, as you can see here, this is the what is called like biochemistry, means chemical reaction happening inside the body about the nutrient digestion and absorption through the small intestine. Now we want to talk about the minerals and vitamins. So as you can see here, magnesium, potassium, zinc and cobalt help to increase the appetite of the animal, and fetal development also involve these minerals like zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. Immune function, these are the minerals involved: zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. Bone development, these chemicals are involved: calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, copper and vitamin D. These are related with the bone development. And for nervous system, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, vitamin A and vitamin E are the involved. This is the hair coat. Zinc, copper, selenium, vitamin A are involved for hair coating. And these are the related for fertility: phosphorus, zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, vitamin A. And these are the for muscle development: phosphorus, zinc, selenium, vitamin E. And this one is the milk production: calcium, phosphorus, magnesium and zinc are the involved for milk production. And this one is the skin and hoof health: zinc, copper, manganese, vitamin A and vitamin E are involved for skin and hoof health. So sometimes we need to give the vitamin and mineral through block. We call urea molasses multi-nutrient block. We call UMMB. And also sometimes we need to mix with the ration, vitamin mineral premix. So usually recommended 2%. Usually we add vitamin mineral premix 2% in the ration, in the concentrate. So here these are the vitamin mineral premix, and this is the block, urea molasses multi-nutrient block or urea molasses block. So this one is the summary: digestion and absorption in ruminant. As you can see here, this is the mouth. So inside the mouth, animal take the non-protein nitrogen, feed protein, fat, carbohydrate. And the reticulum and rumen, what happened? Non-protein nitrogen breakdown and then absorbed by bacteria, and they form the microbial protein. And feed protein break down into volatile fatty acid, fat also break down into volatile fatty acid, and carbohydrate also break down into cellulose and starch like hemicellulose, sugar, and then glucose, and some of the glucose they make volatile fatty acid. And this is the omazam. So in the omazam, all volatile fatty acid they absorb here in the omazam. And then abomazam or true stomach. So as you can see here, a bacterial protein, microbial protein, feed protein, and the peptide absorbed here. and this is the small intestine. So small intestine, amino acid, fatty acid, and glycerol, and here some glucose also absorbed through the small intestine. So these are the book you can get information from this book, like nutrient requirement of dairy cattle, nutrient requirement of beef cattle, and also have like National Research Council (NRC). So they have the what is called the information about the nutrition. So you can ask yourself or your friend. So where is today's hay? So is it here or here or here? So where is yesterday's hay? Hay. So hay is here or here? Yesterday's hay or here? And where is the gas produced from by fermenting the hay? So by taking the hay, they produce the gas, right? So that gas usually stay where? Is it down or up, up here. So you can discuss among your friends. And thank you.